I know this story is about a woman battling with multiple personality disorder, but I think everybody's got a little Jude in them. You all know I love this author's work, and this book proves why. I think all of her short stories could hold their own in their own individual book. And Nervous by Zane was one of the short stories from her Sex Chronicles Shattering the Myth book, and it's really one that needs to stay on your shelves at all times. I've had this book for a really long time, and it's one of those books that it's going to stay where I can see it so that I can pull it out and read it again. I mean, that's how awesome this book was. This book is right after the one that she wrote that was called Addicted, and it's centered around a character who is living two lives in one body. It has like a really weird twist to it, and I love this story because even though this was about a woman that was battling disorder, I feel like every woman has that same boldness in them in some way, shape, or form. And Jude was not just a character who was battling for control. I mean, she was a woman who was sexually liberated, and good or bad, she had no qualms about going after what she wanted. John. Her name is longer. At the risk of not saying it correctly, I'm gonna keep it short like Zane did. She is a very timid creature and really tries to avoid like the social scene and men like altogether. And I don't know if that was like a good thing or a bad thing. Jude, a personality that is the exact opposite and then some. She is the type of woman who is not afraid of getting what she wants and trying new things in order to have a good time or a sexual time, which is most of the time. Marcella Spencer is a therapist that John goes to get help for her condition, and she really helps John put the pieces together and guides her as much as she can. Mason is a man who is very interested in John, not Jude. He sees her as something more as the neighbor next door, and this man right here is a man's man, because even when John pours her heart out for him and like confesses everything, he stays in her corner. I mean, heck, I loved him myself. There's only one problem in this young woman's life, and her name is Jude. Whenever John is away, Jude will play. Wherever John's life in, Jude comes in. Has a little fun with her sexual escapades. She has the idea that she is John's protector, so her attitude is geared towards not trusting anybody that comes into John's circle, and that includes her parents. John goes on with life and ends up meeting her neighbor Mason, who has a thing for her. He invites her to a wedding, but because of her avoid men altogether rule, she declines it. When one of her friends from work invites her to the wedding, she realizes this is the same one that Mason was trying to get her to go to. While this budding romance goes on, Jude sees a threat to her very existence, and let me tell you, she doesn't like it. While all this is happening, we go back a few years to John's childhood and see that things are more than what they seem, and that Jude has been protecting her all her life really, but you know, just in an extreme and harmful way. Right when things seem to get better in John's eyes, they turn right back around and get worse. She ends up connecting with a person from her past and learning of her extended family. And then, boom, the reason why Jude exists in John's mind. Everything makes so much sense after that. I mean, go read the book and see for yourself. That was a sharp turn. And you all know that I love sharp turns in books like this. I will always love this book because I found myself looking past the characters, really seeing the emotions like step into the light. This book is really focused on MPD, multiple personality disorder, and getting down to the root of the matter when it comes to moving on with your life, living as one, not two. Zane's books never cease to amaze me, and this book had that erotica feel to it, you know, with Jude's character, but there was so much love that encompassed the book between like the family and even Mason. He was by far my favorite character because he was just so warm and just so understanding. And I gotta hand it to you, Zane. When it comes to a good read, your books will always be at the top of my list.